Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and as it's currently very late at night and I'm probably one of the 8,000 people right now watching that Death Stranding live stream, just hands on the screen and everything. I did something on the last stream that I did, which by the way, if you don't show up on streams can get kind of wild. They're fun, they're everything. They're kind of where I tend to be a little off the cuff. It's fun. Show up whenever you get the chance. I would hope. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I did during last stream was go onto the world of Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and I delved into a side of it that I just absolutely despise. Now, if you go on Indiegogo and Kickstarter and you just type in like the word YouTube games or gaming or something like that, you'll see a lot of these people putting up goals and shit to fucking create gaming channels or reach their dreams, so to speak. And we looked at some really outlandish shit last time. Something around with $3,000 gaming setup requirements, like requests for getting $3,000 to build the ultimate stream setup to play Fortnite. Actually, every YouTube gaming channel I saw had something to do with Fortnite. There was a request for $500,000. Yes, you didn't hear that wrong. $500,000 for a gaming room. I mean, dude, you could buy a fucking house with $500,000, let alone a goddamn room. But yeah, we actually hit that really, really dark side of the internet. And at first, I'd probably like let it go and cool it off. But it immediately dawned on me how many people just want that instant gratification. You know, a lot of people have this conception now of YouTube and Twitch and everything basically being like the ultimate money pit dream. You know what I mean? Like it's just a claim to fame. What used to be kind of a nerdy hobby, you know, to be like one of them YouTube gamers, is now like a sought after fucking career opportunity. And I thought I laughed enough looking at the YouTube camps last time, but oh my God, dude, YouTube Kickstarters and Indiegogos and whatever are there. And look, I get it. If you're a smaller YouTuber, Patreon, all that stuff is just fine and dandy, good for you. But the reality is there's always a grind associated with YouTube. And I realize that there are people that love to do it, that want to cut through it, and there's people that just fucking can't, or they want it all handed to them. And it absolutely pisses me off about the people that want that shit handed to them. Anybody that was asking for $3 grand, $500, $1,000 to achieve their YouTube dreams, I'm going to kind of shoot that down a little bit. Now, if we show you what's on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, just cut off from the gameplay. This is Haunted Gaming Super Smash Bros. Hidaka, and this is one of those like classic videos that I wanted to pull up because it was released in 2012, which was the year I started my entire YouTube channel. In fact, I believe this was 2 months after I started the channel. So I started March, and then you got April, May, June. Yeah, so like 4 months, sorry. 4 months after I started my channel. So 7 July 2012 is when this game came out. And as you can see, my descriptions are terrible. Welcome back this week, gamers, for another Haunted Gaming. This week, I talk about a Super Smash Bros. Creepy. Like, I am a cringy guy. But back then, this got about 272,000 views, which is really fucking awesome. And when you look at the actual quality for it, it is some hilarious shit. Now, it's got that classic Seesaw intro that I think I stopped using before we even hit like 100 videos. And I'm going to cut to this real quick. Actually, I think it's better if I cut maybe around here. Now, if you hit play, all right, you can get why this was early me.
To ask us if we know anything about Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah, that is just terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this was the old video. This is where like I was really scrounging together. So anybody that says you need $3 grand to start a YouTube channel to reach your gaming dreams is full of shit. Now, back then, I think I used the shitty Windows phone that I had with a crappy microphone, by the way. I recorded into that on a tool that I downloaded from the App Store, and I copied those MP3 files. It wasn't even waves, really, so it was already terrible to begin with. I edited that audio that you just heard, so yeah.
We all know what Super Smash Bros. Melee is. If you don't know...
Yeah, that was edited on Audacity, and I tried to fix it up as much as I can. I believe the original is way worse than that, so I actually will pat myself on the back for fixing that up real quick. Now, if you look at the gameplay, you might be wondering, wow, that's a little weird to me, Muto. What the fuck is going on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I definitely went to the dark side to film this fucker. And yes, this is a camera pointed at the TV. I didn't have a capture card back then, and I wanted to get Super Smash Brothers footage. So yeah, I recorded Brawl footage with a goddamn camera. And I believe it was actually the same cell phone camera to begin with. So it's actually I would say that's pretty decent quality. I thought this was okay. You can kind of tell by how it's like filmed. It's a little tilted. I had to go into like Vegas at the time because I used Sony Vegas back then, and we like 3D retrofitted it, so it worked fine. You can see how like the lines aren't fine. If you have like severe OCD like me, you'll end up seeing how it works. This is the best I could do it. I think it slightly cuts off over here. And you know what? I'm not too mad about it. I'm not too mad about it at all. It works really well. It works fine, all right? It's about as close to Smash as I was gonna get. And I filmed this, put it together in Sony Vegas, and I believe the memes also started popping at the top right. I think we can even dig one out if I'm not mistaken. Oh, here's one, right? God, these are terrible to watch again. But as you can see, I use that default Sony Vegas text. And I just slide the picture right over here. And I used to think I was a badass for doing it. Now that I look at it again, it's a little bit off from the top. So I didn't even, I guess I screwed up. But back then I did it on the crap top that had a resolution of 1366 by 764. So yeah, pardon my editing talent over here. I just did not have the computer for it. And I was kind of learning things as I went, okay? Like that's exactly what happened. And the video ends over here. You know, that's nothing too special. It's just a creepypasta retelling, so to speak. Wow, that looks just terrible. But you know, back then we scrounged with what we had. We didn't have $3,000 fucking dollars to deal with. You know, nowadays, you know, you got that Nvidia Shadow Play, you got that fancy gear here to work with. And yeah, things sound and work better, but that's kind of what the fun with the YouTube grind really is. And when you have it all given to you, then what's the fucking point of achieving it piece by piece? It's kind of like, it's almost the adventure, really, the journey you miss out on. And it really aggravates me to see that kind of shit still being a thing with YouTube. And it's more so now. You know, everyone wants to be a fucking social media influencer, YouTuber, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I almost see it with younger kids in my family who want to be YouTubers at some point, and it's really goddamn cringy to think about. And at the same time, you're also missing the plot of what's the fun to do it, of doing this whole thing to begin with. You know, YouTube's meant to be this fun activity for a lot of people. Now it's almost become some big business for people. You know, where I got to get my. It's almost become an ego stroking thing. Like, hey man, you got to stroke your EP somehow. And I guess YouTube gaming is sort of that new place, or vlogging, whatever you want to call it. Just being a YouTuber in general has hit that moment in time. And anybody that says you needed that to begin with, this is filmed in 2012, which is when production quality was also starting to increase. So I was a little bit behind the times, but you know, we made it work. We did the best we could, and that's just what it is. Dude, I remember back in the day when I recorded with Bandicam, you know, whatever free software we could scrounge. I used to record just slightly bigger than what I needed to, so I could zoom into that video in Vegas and just axe out the watermark. Like, I used to be an ultra 200 IQ level YouTube main when I was doing that shit back in the day. But yeah, I just wanted to take this video to almost just sort of set aside and, you know, kind of thank you guys too for being on the journey over here, ladies and gentlemen. I get really aggravated when I see people do this kind of stuff still to this day. Like, it actually legitimately completely leaves me tilted. You know, YouTube is meant to be a place where you have fun. You know, you build a community first and foremost. And I think if the community was never there, I would never be there either. You know, of course, we all want our videos to be viewed. We all want to do that. But if you're not there to build a community, to interact with people, to create a dialogue, to have fun. When I think about children of today wanting to hit it, or any YouTuber that claims that this is their dream, then you got to shut up and put up at that moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. Like, at some point, dude, you got to start building your community to the point where it hits 100, then 500, then 1,000. You miss the entire point of YouTube. You miss the entire point of the fun of building or doing the grind in general. Dude, the first time we got up to 100 subscribers, it was a big deal. Then 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000, then so on and so forth. Throughout that moment in time, I never once really gave a shit about the YouTube subscriber count. What I did look at the subscriber count anytime, you know, when we always went up 100,000 times each, it was always coming down to the memories that we made. Dude, the amount of times we've played different playthroughs, the ones that I did finish, yeah, trust me, I know I'm a terrible Let's Player, but when we played games like Antichamber, when we played games like LSD Dream Emulator, when we were in that creepypasta phase, when we started the deep web phase, to the point where I do things now that are just random, and honestly, it's whatever I feel like making. There's different phases to this YouTube channel that I go through, and at the end of the day, for better or for worse, the best thing is sharing it with the people around me. I do live streams now that work really well, and I have a fun time doing it. People like watching it. I play video games, you know, the one odd and end ones that I do play, even if they're absolutely retarded, like EXE stuff, we have fun. And I think when you don't focus on that, when you're so ready to get yourself that dream gaming setup so you can be like the top streamer on Twitch or YouTube gaming or whatever, so on and so forth, and you never do anything beforehand, then what's the point of doing it in the first place? It just leaves me completely pissed off at the end of the day. And I kind of wanted to know what you guys think about it too. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. Let me know how cringy old me really was. This is me, Mutahar, and I am out.